This is Selma Schimmel for Advocacy in Action in Chicago at the 2012 Multidisciplinary Symposium in Thoracic Oncology, brought to you by ASTRO, IASLC, ASCO, and the University of Chicago. And we are joined by Dr. Lee Krug, Director of the Mesothelioma Program at Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center in New York City. Dr. Krug is also Chair of the Advisory Board for the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'd like to give an opportunity for you to speak to the advocate community, because I believe mesothelioma could benefit from advocate support. So tell us what you need and would like to see from the advocate community to enhance your and support and help empower your clinical efforts.
I'm very involved with the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation, or what we call now just the Meso Foundation. That organization is really a fantastic group that involves itself with advocacy. It's a very strong patient resource. Patients are able to call, get information about standard treatments as well as research trials going on around the country, helps match them up with physicians who are quite familiar with treating mesothelioma. And also it helps with advocacy on Capitol Hill, for example, asbestos regulations and so forth.
But also I would imagine the advocate community could be vitally important in raising an awareness to thus help sustain funding for more research and clinical trials.
That's absolutely true, and that's also a major focus of the Meso Foundation. The Meso Foundation is the #1 group that funds research in that disease. They've already awarded over $7.6 million in grant funding for that. And as well, their advocacy has led to additional funding sources. For example, they've lobbied on Capitol Hill for the Department of Defense to provide grant funding, because people who are involved in the armed forces are at increased risk for getting this disease. And so each year, the Department of Defense has provided a significant amount of grant money for treatment, for study in this disease.
One can't miss the number of commercials, television commercials from law firms, that it's hard to distinguish because sometimes they appear as though they're advocate focused. What do consumers need to understand about those commercials?
You're right, that makes it challenging. It does blur the line to some degree. We like to tell patients that the lawyer should help you with your legal case and the physician should help you with your medical case. And so while some of them are couched in providing medical information, obviously their goals are somewhat different. In fact, the legal community has such a huge influence that if you try to Google the word mesothelioma, it comes up basically all attorney websites, and it's perhaps the most expensive search word on Google. But nonetheless, that's why organizations like the Meso Foundation are so important, because they are a separate entity. They provide unbiased information, and they provide grant funding and all kinds of other support. So more awareness about organizations like the Meso Foundation can be really important to promote appropriate research and to help patients with their medical needs.
I really want to thank you for shedding some light on mesothelioma and for the research and the hope that as we see biologic agents and targeted therapies and the growth of personalized medicine, that it will positively impact patients dealing with mesothelioma. Thank you so much, Dr. Lee Krug, Director of the Mesothelioma Program at Memorial Sloan-Kettering Cancer Center in New York City and Chair of the Advisory Board for the Mesothelioma Applied Research Foundation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.